Good morning to everyone. Today, I'd like to make an attempt to give a small lecture on risk management and financial derivatives. In modern life, everywhere we encounter situations of risk. Risk is part and parcel of life. The business organization is subject to lots of risk. The risk of not being able to sell the product, the inventory, risk of being, the stock lost due to fire, risk of being deviation from the expected prices. All that kind of risks are quite common. The risk can be defined as deviation from an expected outcome. Any situation which is subject to random variable is, we call it as a risky situations. For example, when we expect a stock price of rupees 130 for a stock price of 129 tomorrow, if the price might go to 140, the price might come down to 100 as well. So the deviation from an expected outcome of 130 to 110 or 120, 115 or 115 is, we call it as a risk. Now random variable, we call it a event a random variable because there are millions of possibility of deviation. The price of the stock is 129 today. It could be 128.999999, 188. So there are a lot of possibilities. We cannot exactly predict, but the outcome is deviant from what we expect. So in order to make that whatever price which we are going to get, so that's we need to do something. So the deviation from an expected outcome is what we call risk. When a famous cricketer Sachin Tendulkar, whose career average is more than 60, let's suppose, and if he goes to bat and ball, all of us expect at least him from his bat to score. We expect him to score at least 60 runs. That's the minimum guaranteed. We expect him to score 100 as well, but then there is a possibility that he might get out for a zero. So the getting out for a zero is a risky situation. We don't know. We cannot predict that it's exactly 60. It could be 100, it could be 200, it could be 90, it could be 80, it could be 50, it could be 60, whatever it may be. So this is also a random variable, but that random variable is not that decimal points comes here, because its runs cannot be 0.0, run is 1 only. But whereas interest rate is concerned, it's point as well. In case of other variable also, it could be point as well. So wherever there is a decimal points possibility, that is a highly random variable. Now, this risk situation, we have to face it, but then we can manage the risk. Risk cannot be avoided, but it can be managed. The risks of two types. The risk which is emanating from certain possibilities. That is risk which is either happens due to happening of certain unforeseen contingent event, or that risks may not come at all. For example, you have stock. If there is a fire accident, your stock gets spoiled or destroyed, burnt. So the possibilities are either stock burnt or no fire. Either fire or no fire, only two situations. When a person goes in the road, in the car accident might happen. Car get accident, damaged by accident or not. So two situations. Either that things happen due to unforeseen contingent event, or that things may not happen because of natural calamity. If the stock has been destroyed, the stock gets destroyed or may not get destroyed. The stock get destroyed, property is lost, otherwise nothing is going to happen. So this kind of situation wherein there are only two possibilities: either the things are happening or things are not happening. So if the things are happening, the property or the subject matter gets destroyed. If the things are not happening, subject matter still live, nothing is going to happen. So, but then it's a risky situation. Fire accident is a risky situation. Accident due to various calamities happening of certain unforeseen contingent event is quite common. If things are happening, yes, the stock will be destroyed, property will be destroyed, assets will be destroyed, all these kind of things. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. So, this kind of random situation is you have a set pattern. The pattern is that either things are destroying or things are not destroying. The things are destroying, that situation is what we call is a risky situation. Otherwise, no risk at all. Now, this kind of risky situation we call it as a pure risk. So, it is due to happening of certain unforeseen contingencies. The subject matter might get destroyed or may not get destroyed. If it is may not get destroyed, it will remain the same. But in order to transfer, these kind of risks can be transferred. That the risk happens only when subject to happening of certain unforeseen contingent event. The risk can be transferred to someone else who will be able to compensate for the loss in case of happening of certain unforeseen contingent event. For example, if the fire happens, the insurance company will compensate the loss. Okay. Now, this kind of insurance risk management technique is what we call risk transfer. That is, somebody will make good the loss at the time of happening of unforeseen contingent event. So, such risk is pure risk. Pure risk can be transferred. The insurance policy is the adequate method of risk transfer, and the risk management technique here is risk transfer through insurance. The insurance company will make good the loss. It will take the subject matter. In case the subject matter destroyed, it will make good the loss. But then, if subject matter doesn't get destroyed, it will not make good the loss. But the person who is transferring the risk has to pay premium, because it's not a free contract. For making good the loss, the insurer and insured, the insured has to pay the premium. So this is risk transfer contract. The second contract is that the second type of risk is what we call it is speculative risk. What is that speculative risk? I told various random variables like interest rate, stock prices, index prices, petroleum prices, commodity prices, all these kind of stuffs gets their prices changed every day. Sometimes these price changes may be good for the organization, sometimes it might affect adversely. So, but then in order to ensure a kind of stability in the prices, a kind of known variable, a kind of stability in terms of stock price, stability in terms of commodity price, somebody must ensure that the price remains stable so that you can do the business without having much worries about the changes in prices. Foreign exchange price could also. For example, in case of you have let's say you have a stock or share of Infosys, which is currently running at 1000 rupees, but you want to sell it after 1 month, because or after 1 month you have some kind of commitment to pay some amount. So you think that 1000 rupees share price is there, that 1000 I'll be able to sell it 1,050 or at least 1000 after 1 month. But after 1 month, what is the guarantee that the price of the share remain the same? It could be 950, it could be 1050. If 1050 you're lucky, 950 you are going to lose that amount. So you have to ensure that at least you are going to get 1000, so that your commitment to by selling that you can discharge your commitment on that particular date. So in case of speculative risk, the subject matter, for example, the price of the here stock, it could be 1050 or it could remain same at 1000, it could be 950. So there are three possibilities: either you are going to gain out of the price level changes, or you are going to lose out of the price level changes, or the price level will remain the constant. It doesn't change. You're indifferent. So these three situations might happen in case of speculative risk. So speculative risk, either there is a loss or there is a gain or there is status quo. So these situations, but there is uncertainty again, because the a kind of risk is that you do not know what is going to be the store in future. So for that buy you may buy a derivative contract to ensure that you are going to get the lock-in price, the price which in this case of stock, I said 9,000 rupees, which is lock-in. You can ensure that even if the market price on that particular day, after 3 months or after 1 month, if it is 1050 no 950, you will be going to get 1000. So such contract is called derivative contract, to ensure that you are going to get a price which has been fixed earlier. So such a contract is what we call derivative contracts. So for the speculative risk, you can lock in, you can ensure that the price remain the same. So in a derivative contract, there are two types of market. One is called spot market. Spot market means the market which is currently prevailing. Future markets or the forward market is the market where the price is been changing. A price is fixed after sometimes, after future, after 3 months, after 4 months. Um, Here in this derivative contract is a contract to buy or sell certain underlying commodities at a specified price on a specified future date. Okay, underlying commodities. It is based on underlying commodities. So such contract are of four types. One is called forward contract. Second one is called future contract. Third one is called options contract. Fourth one is called swaps. So these four contracts are, we call it as a derivative contracts. Derivative contracts are used to to control, to manage the speculative risk. So I once again I recap. There are two types of risk. Pure risk. Pure risk, only two possibility: either things are happening or not happening. Subject matter get destroyed or not get destroyed. Speculative risks are there is a possibility of gain, loss, or status quo. The subject matter, the price of a commodity could be increased or decreased, or it might remain the same. For pure contract, to manage the pure contract, you do risk transfer contract, that is insurance. For speculative risk, you buy derivative contracts, that is called hedging contract. Hedging means to ensure that you are going to get the fixed or stipulated price. So this is all about insurance and risk management. It's all about risk management and financial derivatives and insurance. Initial chapter. So we'll just discuss about various types of forward contracts, futures contracts, etc., derivative contracts, and insurance principles as well in the coming chapters. Thank you.